everybody. The 2016 Alstead Deliberative Session is now open. Thank you for being here as we together finalize the ballot on which we will vote in March. I am Susan Monander, moderator for the town of Alstead. Checking in voters this morning are the supervisors of the checklist, Ethel Gendron, Penny Gendron, and Bobby Wilson. And just as an aside, if you're not yet registered and picked up voting cards, please do so before we get going. Peter Rhodes is serving as assistant moderator. Town clerk Gloria Seddon and assistant town clerk Trish Anderson will be recording our decisions today and preparing the ballots for the March 8th voting. Linda Christie has been our town administrator for years and years and years and years and years, and is leaving the position. I would like to give her special recognition for her capable, complicated, and dedicated service to our town. She's been amazing. Kelly Wright is Linda's assistant and in training for serving in this capacity. Our selectmen are Joel McCarty, Chris Reitman, and Rock Wilson. Marcello, have you come here?
Right here.
Oh, sorry. Marcello D'Alessandro is here with us representing the Alstead Police Department. I don't think Roger's here this morning, is he? Okay. Well, we thank you both for what you do. We also have with us members of the Department of Public Works, the Fire Department, and Alstead Rescue. And they are here to, they will be available to answer questions as we go along. The Alstead Advisory Budget Committee, mostly sitting over here. Can you raise your hands, Alstead Advisory Budget Committee? Thank you. They were formed in 2014 at the request of you, the citizens, and they have offered guidance to this process of creating our budget. Thank you to Michelle, who works here, for setting up chairs, microphones, and so on. We're going to be moving this microphone out for all of you to use. So thank you, Michelle. Many people serve our town. Some are paid. Many are volunteers, and I applaud their dedication and hard work and urge you to read a copy of the town report to recognize the committees, boards, and individuals and their great efforts at maintaining a town in which we can be proud. Guess what? Our New Hampshire primary is this Tuesday. This is the 100th anniversary of the New Hampshire primary. I thank the many people who help at the polls and count the ballots. We have 3 more voting events after this in 2016. In March, voting on what we assemble here today. In September, the state primaries. And November, the presidentials. If you want to be involved, it's a great way to be involved with your town. And we would like to expand our list of helpers. So please speak with me if you would like to be involved in some capacity. We intend to take a break in our deliberations for lunch, and around the noon hour I will take a sense of the meeting as to the timing and the duration of the break. You've all been given cards. When I call for a vote on any issue, it's the green card that you will hold up. Penny and Bobby will be the counters. One will take one side of the room, the other will take the other side of the room. So that's the green one. The yellow one is just a backup in case we need a secret ballot on any item. And before we turn our attention to the warrant article, Bruce Bellows has asked to to have a word with all of you.
I would just like to follow up a little bit further on what Susan has done a good job. I would just like to follow up a little further on what Susan has alluded to about the dedication of people working for the town. Being involved with the Historical Society, I'll give you just a few historical facts. I went back to about 100 years ago and checked on people that had served the town in the capacity as a select person. And I find I didn't total up all of them for that length of time. In my lifespan, which is from 1941 to now, there have been 35 different select people. And since I became involved with town business, which was after I got out of the Air Force in 1963, there have been 28 different select people. The longest serving select person for the town of Alstead was Harry Spooner, 19 years. He served from 49 to 67. The next two people with the longest career are Joel McCarty and Matt Saxon with 15 years. Then we have Harry Neal with 13 years, Frank Dustin with 12 years, Gloria Seddon with 12 years. Oh, and there was one back in 34 to 47, Robert Brackett, that lived up on Pleasant Street. He served for 14 years. So those are the longest serving select people for the town. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I think, we owe a show of appreciation to both Matt and Joel for their 15 years of service to the town. Linda Christie years and years and years. Years and years and years totaled up to 19. Gloria Seddon, in case I'm not here to say this because I'm pushing up daisies when Gloria finally retires. Not only did Gloria serve 12 years from 76 to 87 as a select person, she has been town clerk from 95 through the present time, and there's 2 years left on your contract, right? That would be a total of 23 years as town clerk. So you add that 23 with the 12, and we've got 35 years of service for the town. As of now, he has been road agent for 15 years. He's worked for the town for 30 years, and he's been road agent for 15, and he's still going strong at this time. Yay!
And I would like to thank Bruce Bellows, because as all of you know, over the years, he always comes up with the wise sayings at just the right time. So thank you, Bruce, for all you do for the town, too. So with that amount of goodwill, let's begin our business of the day. Article 1, we will be electing officers March 8th, 2016 at the Town Hall and Fire Station. Polls are open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Article 2, the operating budget. Shall the town of Alstead raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations made as separate the amount set forth on the budget posted with the warrant or as amended by vote of the first session for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $1,588,210. Should this article be defeated, the default budget shall be $1,551,624, which is the same as last year, with certain adjustments required by previous action of the town of Alstead or by law, or the governing body may hold one special meeting in accordance with RSA 40, 13, 10, and 16 to take up an issue of a revised operating budget only. Do I have a motion from the selectmen?
I would move this be placed on the ballot as read.
Is there a second? Is there discussion on Article 2? Seeing none, I direct the clerk to place this on the ballot as written. Now that was my most formal reading of the articles. I'm not actually required to read them all, and since you have them in front of you, I would propose that I simply address the subject, if that's all right with you, and that will help us move through a little more quickly, okay? Is everybody okay with that? Okay. Article 3, to purchase a combination pumper and rescue truck. Do I have a motion on that?
Get on.
Yes?
Oh, there's one. And I'll second.
Okay. Thank you. Is there discussion on Article 3? Seeing no, oh, yes, Matt?
I would take this opportunity to thank the committee of the budget committee that researched for so many weeks, making day trips to look at other trucks, to interview builders, to give what I think is probably the most comprehensive examination of A, what the town needs in terms of a fire truck, and B, how to get it and what to pay for it. And the handout today is the obvious proof of their excellent work, so I want to thank them for that.
I've spent pretty much every week of the last 14 years correcting Matt. I'm not quite done. It wasn't the budget committee that did this work. It was the emergency management group.
The subcommittee of the budget.
There you go. So we're both right once again.
And still friends. Is there discussion or changes to this Article 3? Seeing none, I ask the clerk to place it on the ballot as written. Article 4, to add to the fire department capital reserve fund. CRF is for capital reserve fund. Do I have a motion of the capital reserve fund? Yes. Okay. Do I have a second? John, is there discussion on the capital reserve fund Article 4? Seeing none, I ask the clerk to place this on the ballot as read and written. Article 5, to add to the bridge capital reserve fund. Do I have a motion on that?
Move to place it on the ballot as read or as not read.
Do I have a second? Second. Is there discussion on adding to the bridge capital reserve fund? Hearing none, I ask the clerk to place it on the ballot as read. Article 6, to add to the transfer station capital reserve fund. Do I have a motion on that? On Article 6?
Move to place it on the ballot as written.
you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Joy. Is there discussion on Article 6? Hearing none, I ask that the clerk place Article 6 on the ballot as written. Article 7, to add to the Highway Capital Reserve Fund. Do I have a motion on Article 7? Les? Is there a second?
I'll second
Thank you. Is there discussion on Article 7? Hearing none, I ask the clerk to place this Article 7 on the ballot as written. Article 8, to add to the Shed Porter Library Capital Reserve Fund. Do I have a motion on that? Thank you. Is there a second? Is there discussion on adding to the Library Capital Reserve Fund? Seeing none, I ask the clerk to place Article 8 on the ballot as read. Article 9, add to the Police Capital Reserve Fund. Is there a motion on Article 9? Yes, thank you. And the second, thank you. Is there discussion on Article 9? Seeing none, I ask that the clerk place the Article 9 on the ballot as written. Article 10, I have a clerical change to check on. As you see in the second line, there is a 0 missing. The all-important 0. Is it the intent of the select board that the second line read the sum of, it should be 180,000?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, it
Is that acceptable to everybody? You understand what I'm doing? Okay. Thank you. So, do I have a motion on the paving roads amount?
is. Now, I move that we place Article 10 on the ballot as written and clerically amended.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you.
I'd like to actually make a motion to, as you know, our roads are deteriorating quickly. As you see,
Can you come use the mic? Sorry.
Spell is
As you know, this is Glenn Alstead, who has worked voluntarily at Great Lake.
as you know, oil prices are down a lot this year. So is the paving prices are down a lot. Who knows what's going to happen next year? This is an excellent year to pave as much as we can. There's roads that we have not even touched. In fact, I've done a lot of research back, and one really comes to mind is Pleasant, Violet, and Prospect. I can't even find records of the last time we actually worked on those roads, actually paved. At the current level, we are falling further and further behind every year. We're paving less and less and less because as your roads deteriorate, you use more material on those roads. So I'm proposing an amendment to see if the town will allow us to vote to raise and appropriate the sum $252,000 for the purpose of paving roads, Walpole Valley Road and March Hill Road. The sum of $252,000 to come out unassigned fund balance as of December 31st, available transfer January 1st. No amount will be raised from taxation, so this will not be any impact. Yes, we are spending down a little bit of our savings, but sometimes you need to spend that savings down and have savings on the other end of paving.
So to be clear, Glenn, your motion is to change the number?
Correct.
Period.
Period, from 252
Not
to...
where it comes from, or not what we do.
Exactly.
I'd be happy to second that. Amendment.
Now we will have discussion on the amendment. Michael Rogers, would you like to?
I think that's a good amendment.
Can you either use the microphone or speak very loudly?
No, I can do that. I think it's a good amendment, but I would caution that you be specific in that amendment of naming the roads you intend.
Okay, people can't hear you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
In Stratford.
Hi, I'm Michael Rogers from East Alstead. I think it's a good amendment, but we need to be very specific on which roads and how much. Okay? There have been times when two places have been named in an article, but the word went to one of them because it was unclear how much should be spent on one instance. So we need to discuss it and make sure we know how much money wants to go to each road if that's possible. I think that's a safeguard.
Yes, Glenn? We need to lower this and then.
Actually, the warrant article does state what roads we're planning on doing. Walpole Down Road from the Walpole line all the way down to 12A, and the March Hill Road, which will be from the Walpole line up to the approach of the Walpole Valley Road. Question? Can I do that?
The questions need to be addressed to me.
I'm sorry, Glenn, I didn't, this month.
Why don't you come up and, do you?
I'm going to speak on just one brief question. Where's
Yes.
the balance of these funds, the $70,000 that you're asking for? Where is that to come from? I don't think you stated that, or I didn't hear it.
Yes.
It's actually from the unassigned fund balance. When the money is left over at the end of the year, it goes into that fund, and then that money can be used to put towards actually driving tax rates down if you want to. You can use that for warrant articles, or you can just leave it there for a rainy day or emergency fund. That is money that has been from previous years that goes into that account.
You're not recommending that the taxes be increased by that?
Correct. This will be all from that fund balance. Money that's already been taken out of our pockets. We're just going to spend on roads.
Yes.
Joe Carter, Alstead Road. How much money is left in this
In the fund.
fund balance? How much money is left over there after all these articles?
We can estimate. Yeah. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
We don't know exactly, but our estimate, based on revenues expected to come in somewhere around $200,000.
Over 200, plus we still will have around 250, I believe.
Correct.
With a balance of around 250